got done watching Secret Invasion, Marvel Studios' brand new series, and this is my episode 3 spoiler review. We're not going to recap the entire show, but there will be spoilers included in this review because it's hard to talk about Marvel shows without talking spoilers. So, in context, I've loved the first 2 episodes. I was such a fan of this, and it seems like this franchise and this series has been kind of mixed. Some people think it's boring, some people just don't think it's for them. And I'm going to be honest, this is the weakest episode for me. There's a lot of great moments to it, but it feels like the editing was a little bit all over the place. But when we come down to what happens in this episode, this is the midpoint. And typically when you watch a show or a movie, when you hit that midpoint, that's when the cogs start turning, the wheel starts moving, and a lot of stuff starts amping up, and primarily with every single one of the characters, because specifically in this episode alone, we get some development and some intriguing conversations between Gravik and, of course, Talos. But alongside that, it very much is a Talos and Nick Fury mission to go forward to stop a bomb from going off. Of course, another bomb, but, this plane from depointing it. Them going on a mission, them reconciling, and us finding a little bit more about Nick Fury's past and when he got hitched. And for me, I love all the developments. I love how it came off. I wish that flashback sequence we saw at the start of this episode would have been a little bit longer, personally, but I think the way that it ties into what we saw in that envelope and to what she sees at the very end of her opening up the safety deposit box, it all kind of correlates with one another. Then us finally getting that, figuring out that yes, she is working with Gravik, or there is something going on there with Gravik, that adds more tension. And as we've kind of theorized and discussed, is what is wrong with Nick Fury? Why did he just, after the blip, leave everyone? I'm starting to get to the sense that Gravik was his son, quote unquote. And I think that is the direction that we're heading in, is that Gravik felt betrayed and this father-son relationship was just severed. And it'll be interesting to see how they take that. But I'm really loving the past that we're starting to find out about, at least about Nick Fury. And adding into there a little bit more, the other thing that I really did love about that was also everything in here that happened between Talos and Nick Fury. I love their relationship. I loved it in Captain Marvel, and I love it in here. In the first few episodes, it was great. And in this one, seeing them actually go on this mission and seeing Nick Fury just take out Skrulls like it was nothing, seeing Talos do the same, and them execute this plan all worked. But not because of what Talos and Nick Fury did, because they fucked up. It's because of Gaia. I think that's Gaia? I think it's Gaia. Talos' daughter, who has been betraying Gravik for the last 2 episodes now. And we knew that Gravik at least kind of started going, questioning her, getting his suspicion. And throughout this episode, this very much was 2 different parallels. One of Nick Fury's viewpoint and one on Gravik's viewpoint, who I'm absolutely loving Kingsley's performance in here. He's so menacing and so scary. And that's where it really hits. Because we had so many little Easter eggs in here, whether it was like the Dreykov, like the little line that they said here, or some of the other moments. But one of the other things was Super Skrulls. That's something that they've been building up to. And what we noticed here with Gravik is he went into that machine, and when he's having that conversation with Talos and he says Gaia's name, and Talos stabs his hand and he pulls it away and it just grows back, that looked exactly like the Extremis program, which makes me go as far to say he is a Super Skrull. And I think next episode we're going to start to see those cogs turning, where more Super Skrulls are going to come in. And what I'm actually excited to see mostly is how they tie that in. How does Nick Fury tackle these Super Skrulls? How do they affect the rest of the MCU going forward? Because in the MCU, this is called the Multiverse Saga. Does this have any implications to that? Do these have layering effects for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? I don't know. All I know is that this was a good episode, my least favorite out of the first two. I found some of the editing to be a little bit jumbled, and I felt like the episode could have made some of the scenes flow a little bit longer. But besides that, still really digging this show, and I'm hoping the next 3 episodes can really execute this show in such a flawless manner that make me go, yep, that is the best Disney Plus Marvel series yet. Also, on another count, this show is very much more mature than a lot of other things, so I'm a little bit more excited for Daredevil Born Again. I think they're going to be able to give us that. And I just want to say I do apologize. There are a couple family things going on in my life right now, so if this review seems a little bit shorter, I'm just a little bit off, that's probably why. Thank you so much, and of course, until next time, again, stay classy.